that whole thing is a true story, by the way. I really did have a cellmate who actually said he would sell me for a moon pie. But it never happened, because after that one experience with prison, I decided I didn't need to experience it again. I was good after that. So that happened, and if y'all ever heard of the Lizard Lounge, this is the spot in Boston where I honed my skills. You know, it's like I started off doing poetry in New York, but where I really got good at it was at the Lizard Lounge. And when I first came to Boston, everybody was all excited because I moved to Boston at the same time that this guy Reggie Gibson moved to Boston. And everybody was just like, you gotta meet Reggie Gibson, you gotta meet Reggie Gibson. And I'm like, why I gotta meet Reggie Gibson? Like why? It's just a guy, you know, it's why? And then I meet Reggie, and Reggie is the slickest Southside Chicago talking motherfucker you ever know. Like when he talks, like, all right, so I keep trying to do this and I keep getting it wrong, but I'm gonna try it again. So you know how like when people talk and they have like these S's and they be like, yo, so I'm so slick, man, I'm in the city, man. It's like, so their body moves with the talk, because he's like that, and he's that kind of slick. He's just so slick. And so me and Reggie one night was sitting in the car, and I was living in Dorchester, 3 Silverway Street, not that y'all need to know that. But we were sitting in the car at like 3 in the morning, and we were talking. He's like, say, man, you know, if I was an alien, man, and I had to judge the world, the fate of the world on what happens at poetry venues, man, and I came down and I went to a poetry slam and open mic, and I just listened to what they had to say on the mic. You know what I'd do if I was an alien? I put the whole world out of their misery, because all they do is complain about how bad life is. Like, there's nothing good in the world. Like, there's nothing good in life. It's like, you want to separate yourself from people, man. You go and you write something, you write what's good, you know, you write things that's good for me. And I was like, I thought about it. I was like, yeah, I could do that. And so I started, and even though it was a long journey to like transform from writing about all of this hardship and ugly that I was experiencing in life to writing about more positive things, I still made the attempt. So this is one of the first attempts that I made at that, and it goes, 2 angels were talking while traveling south in the 99. One turned to the other and asked, have you ever saved a life? I've never saved a life. But every morning, I wake up, walk over to my sleeping angel, see her little chest heave, and I can breathe. I need to be moved. Most days I feel I'm walking through an emotionless dust bag waiting to be dumped amongst other unwanted remnants of lives. Life is the universe so circus. Most people aren't brave enough for the high wire or to fly the trapeze, so the world is overloaded with clowns. Just a bunch of showman shells filled with big voices and phony acts saying nothing I can believe in. I need to be moved. Most days I feel I'm trapped between a compressed set of lungs, a dormant trachea, a dry esophagus, a nostril refusing to breathe until I choke on the dust of the Muslim refugee camp tent of Fatima, circumcised for something she may or may not believe in. The women gathered to hold her like tears, sliding down Christopher's cheek, told real men aren't supposed to cry, but he can't figure out what to do with the abandonment left in heart by mother, who couldn't figure out how to keep a roof over his head, clothes on his back or food in his belly, like Sasha's admiration, reaching up to a parent, not to be embraced by arms, but by the fact that you can't see her ribs anymore. Because in her homeland, skinny bodies are a sign of poverty, but in America, anything more than the weight of Barbie is less than precious. She grew into a supersized subcomplex of a psychological eating disorder trapped between a magazine's self-image and a self-portrait her mother can be proud of. I have to wonder if this generation's obsession with aliens, vampires, and zombies is a metaphor for how strange we feel in our bodies and how many angels walk around counting the lives they save when I awake every morning, walk over to my sleeping angel, see her little chest heave before giving myself permission to breathe. Most days, it's not about counting how many lives you saved, counting how many times your life was saved in that day. 2 angels were talking while traveling south for the 99. I just looked out and thank God for the angels that don't know that they're saving lives. So that path, I started writing a whole bunch of poems, and Reggie was right. So now we're gonna, remember I told y'all in 2007 I won that 10 grand? So we're gonna like go back to that. So I was living upstairs at ASD 20, and I had my daughters with me. I have 2 girls. At the time they were like 3, 4, they were like 4 and 8, I wanna say, you know, 4 and 9. I can't remember, like 4 and 8, somewhere around there. And I lived upstairs for 2 years. And for the 2 years that I was there, they lived with me. So it was like this awesome thing to have like these 2 kids living in this artist commune with like 11 other artists. It's like instant babysitters all the time. You know? So, and it's the best babysitters ever. Cause like, you know, when you're like, I wanna go out, I wanna go have fun, would you mind watching my kid? And then you come home and like the kids are covered in paint, but like there's like paintings on the wall, cause they're like, this is what they did, and then we did this, and then like they would sculpt and do a play, they would with clay, and like having kids be with artists as their babysitters is just a bomb. I suggest everyone live in age to 20 at some point in their life when you have kids. So, that ended because I ended up getting angry. I got into an argument with somebody, and the discussion got out of hand. And had you known me like 5, 6 years ago, you know, before Vipassana, I have like this is 2 Christopher Johnsons. There's before Vipassana, where I was liable to punch you if you pissed me off, and then there's after Vipassana, where I'm just like, hey, let's talk about this. You know, that's like, so like you're getting the after Vipassana, Christopher. So anyway, when they kicked me out, I decided that I would take everything that I did, everything that I learned. It's like I lived with artists for 2 years. There's no way in the world I couldn't have grown and been a better person. Something had to come out of it. And so I went and I slammed really hard, and I won that $10,000. It was this contest where 1,100, it's like 1,100 people around the world competed for this money, and I got it. And I took that and I went and I did 9 shows in 7 days in South by Southwest. And then I did tours. I was on tour for 10 days. I would be home for 10 days and I would go on tour for 10 days. I'd be home for 10 days and I'd be on tour for 10 days. And I missed my kids a lot. And the time that I would come home, I'd be too tired to be with my kids. So I would just sit there and let them play and let them talk. And I knew that I was leaving in a couple of days. So I started writing down what they were doing, like my kids are doing this, my kids are doing that, and I would write down like what they were saying in conversations, and then I would go and I would incorporate that in my poems. So I'd be on an airplane incorporating it into my poems. And so then after 2 years of touring, I come back and I decide, you know, no more touring, I'm done. It's like I'm done. And my first show that I had here in Rhode Island, I brought my kids, and my oldest is like, she can care less. She's like, I'm here, can I have some cherries, please? One cherry, you know, go to the bar, give me some cherries, I'm good. And my youngest, she's, you know, she pays attention. She pays attention to her dad, like I'm still Superman in her eyes. So I'm on the stage, and I'm performing, and I look over to my youngest daughter, and she's like, and I'm like, what is wrong with this child? You know? So then I'm still performing, and she gets really, and she's a lot like me. Like she looks like me, but like when she's angry, she looks more like me than anything else. And so I'm like, I get off stage and I'm like, hey, Asha. My daughter's name is Asha, if you didn't gather that. So I'm like, hey, Asha, everything all right? She's like, Dad, you owe me money. And I'm like, well, what are you talking about? I owe you money. Everything you did on that stage was a conversation between me and my sister, and that's plagiarism. You owe me money. So I'm like, you ain't getting no money. That's not happening. But what I ended up doing, we came to an agreement, and the agreement was I would write her a poem, and the poem would be hers. And I couldn't perform this poem for 2 years. She let me perform it once at Brown University. And then after that, for 2 years, she was the only one that could hear this poem. No one else heard this poem. And then when I did bring it out and let it started, and everybody was like, I never heard that poem, it's so good. And I was like, yeah, it's not yours, it's my daughter's. So anyway, I think y'all want to hear the poem, don't you?
Yeah.
All right. You sure you want to hear this poem?
Yes.
All right. Let me take you where the wild things are. Together we'll discover where the sidewalk ends while singing silly mnemonic songs, reminding us of places we can only imagine going, like Mrs. Venus eats messy jelly sandwiches using 9 plastic spoons. At the end of our journey, we'll sit under the giving tree, talk about Amelia Bedelia, Alex's very bad day, and Harold's purple crayon. We'll have stone soup for lunch, on top of spaghetti, all covered with cheese until the ants go marching one by one. I want to keep you at a time when all the world's a rainbow, when New York towers and London bridges never fall down, when you're happy you know it so much, the clapping of hands and stomping of feet resonates as earthquakes in China, proving it's a small world after all. See, when your secret garden is the size of a jungle book, you realize the twinkle twinkle of every star is not in the wondering how far up in the sky, but the greatness we see behind each other's eyes. And when that happens, little boys will never worry about being the only Baa black sheep in the room. And little girls will never worry about old MacDonald having anything in his pocket but a smile. I once heard a kid say, there are 2 types of humans, children and people. See, children are like letters in the alphabet. All of the children can get along because all could be sung to the tune of the same song, and bam, there was a light in the attic. As I said to myself, somewhere in the aging process, our innocence becomes lost boys following Peter Pan. What a wonderful world if we never grew up. If we always remained little engines that could create our own wonderlands. What if we never became precocious strollers from our heads, shoulders, knees, and toes, and like the letters in the alphabet? The more we get together, the happier we will be. So come with me. Let me take you where the wild things are. Together we'll sing a rainbow, over in the meadow, way out west in Kansas.